So this is a match back in May between Mansa and myself. He's using a Shamshir, I'm using an Epee. And I'm going to be commenting over the fight just so you can have a little insight of what's happening in my head during the fight. All right, let's get started. So I know off the bat that if he grabs my blade, I'm pretty screwed. So I'm trying to stay a little far out. Just bashing my blade, see what happens. Prefer to flip to the wrist just to see what his reaction would be. Ooh, I got the feeling that that wasn't going to go well, so I was a little aggressive with the blade. Little blade beat. About a flick to the hand. Barely. Wouldn't really do much in real life, unfortunately. And he gets me really good there. So, for that hit, I go for the hand. I just miss it looks like. And then when I'm getting back up, he comes at me, has full possession of my weapon there. It's right at his guard. He's super strong there. I try and get out. He reaches around. I'm able to push him out of the way. But from there, because I'm a tip weapon, there's not much for me to do from that position other than like try and flick him. But for him, he just had to switch down and cut to my stomach. He had the advantage there. He was in a really good position for his weapon and for his skill set. And I take the hit. Next point. Ooh, I went right for a low lunge, but got caught on the neck. So on this lunge, I'm shooting my leg before my arm, a rookie mistake. I land the foot, and then I go in with the arm. That probably gave him well enough time to calculate that he just needed to end me with that. Yeah. So even though I did get the hit first, I probably would have sustained more damage there. Fair enough. I'm okay. Alright. So now I've got my head rocked a bit. I'm a little more hesitant. That was a pretty good reaction on my part. So he's coming in a little hot here. Advancing. I get my parry off, which allows me to reach over really in an ugly way and hit him clean in the shoulder right there without any danger to myself. We resume. He was trying to really grab the blade and then advance with it. Didn't work too well, but we both were kind of lax there. I'm trying to bait him, and he does not fall for it. He takes me right out. So I bait the leg. He comes forward on top. I have to parry it, but I don't maintain the parry. I try and hit him after. I miss. He then lifts me up, baits me, and I do a really, really bad parry, and he gets me on the arm. He faked me out in the end when I was trying to fake him out. One thing I'll say about him is he keeps changing stances on me, so I have to reinvent everything. I'm confused what to do here, so I tried a direct attack. Now, would I have gotten that? He goes. No, he got me right after. I missed the leg on the entry. He moved me aside, and then he love tapped me above, and I nearly died, but that's fine. I'm trying to be aggressive here. See if I can make him over parry and then make him pay for it. But he came in. He came in, that arm extension, he didn't care. I'm starting with some point in line here just to see if he makes a mistake and I can just lunge in. But he grabs me here. By grabbing me here, there's a tension point where I know that if I let go, he's just going to flip over and cut me. So I kind of maintain it, but it doesn't matter at all because he just walks in and does exactly what I was afraid of. And there's nothing I can do. Look at me cower. That's no, that was really well done on his behalf. He had an advantage, he maintained it, and then ended me with it. Yes. See, I even knew in the moment that it wasn't going to go well for me. Alright, aggressive blade beats. Being a little bit of a jackass about it. Not bad parry, not bad parry. Oh yeah, infighting with Epee. Infighting with Epee is something I find really fun. So him coming in here, allowing me to parry, and then coming again, I parry him, parry him. As soon as we get into this range, if my weapon is still valid, I love infighting, which is why he might have been surprised that I could pull that off at that range, but I am extremely comfortable with that infighting. A new stance for me to deal with. But because of that arm there, because of this position, I felt like I could bait up here and then make my way below. I felt like the time it would take to rotate the whole arm, I would be at an advantage there. And I was kind of right about that because I hit it right here on his way down. It's a little aggressive, he backs off. We're both a little tired, getting feelers out. Reaction was good. I was able to blade beat that. I was surprised it actually moved a bit. We get into infighting again, but he got me on the neck, I believe. There's a few times he gets me in the neck. So we're here up top. If I get the angle right, I'm golden, but he comes in real good. Drops a little love. It was flat. So that would have been mine on the way out. Poorly done, but mine. Yeah, he tried to get me off guard with that aggression, but a small little disengage, point directly on there. His blade isn't pointed at me. My hit. That was really nice on his behalf. So, from what I could tell in our exchange, if he gets a certain amount of pressure on the blade in our contact and he's able to release that, the speed is so fast that I have a really hard time dealing with it. Blade contact is good for me in some ways because I can parry and maneuver things, but if there is a buildup of pressure, I know immediately it's over for me if I'm not out of range, which is what happened here. I released and then he just brought it down. I moved the camera so that we didn't have that problem again because I have no clue what happened in that exchange. Mansa's really trying to catch me in that hard parry. He caught me on the wrist there apparently. Let's see that again. See that wrist shot? Boom, boom. Right there he caught me. Right in that descending cut, I did not retract my arm fast enough. And he caught me in that blur that we can barely see. But I called it out. I was really happy with that parry. The fact that my arm didn't crumble, I was very happy. The wideness. That one rocked me. Okay, so. He came in baiting with a lot of wide actions, and I followed suit. I blocked that strike. I feel good about it. I move out of the way. I come back in, trying to bait him to come in so I can drop down the point on him. But then he baits me with a high attack, so I go low. And we end up just going completely wide in our actions. And wide actions is good for him and bad for my neck. That was really good on his behalf. I missed you can see my point there is not hitting anything, but his is about to cleave my neck. So the wide actions worked for him and not for me. The fact that he has a whole blade available to him to cut me with helps. The fact that I only have a tip to work with, I should not have been following that, but he got me good. 3 more points here. This is a Zongao position. This is him taking his stance. To say that I was confused is an understatement. That was pretty nice on my behalf. Starting here, I start adding a little bit of hops. I put in a little feint, see what he does. He decides to back off. Okay, cool, good to know. Another one. This time he parries. Fair enough, different reaction. Come again. I saw another parry. I reacted. But for some reason, I hesitate. I didn't feel it. He parries. He comes back to me. I'm able to move out of the way in the most weird leg position ever. I'm running backwards. Now, him charging at me with this weapon is always scary. I always feel like I'm gonna lose when he charges me with the Shamshir. So I might be going a little wild, but I saw enough of an opening that if I just did a stop it, if I just stopped and extended my arm, I could get it. And luckily I did. What's wrong with my legs? I'm not happy with my legs, but I'm never happy with my legs. Alright, next point. Way more legs involved, and I went for the flesh. Am I surprised that I used the flesh? I am super surprised I used the flesh. So let's break that down. Quick step, minimum reaction. He opens up. Opening up means flesh. Now, he tried to parry it, which at the speed and the hops that I was doing, probably not the best option. But he could have, if he decided that he didn't think he was able to parry it, he could have totally got my arm at the same time. It was not a clean enough shot that it was all mine. Bait to the hand, bait to the hand. Quick parry. He's getting a little funky with the hand there. Comes in, and I'm able to parry it out. So he comes in, ready to strike. I go up high. I catch his blade. It's in the strong of my weapon. It's close to my guard. I'm able to bring him down with me. My tip is still pointing towards him. So I go in for the cut. But he, the stab. But he also kind of gets a side cut on me, I think. But it was a nice way to end the exchange. As you can see, we're pretty happy with it. So this was the first time that I used my Olympic fencing skills with my weapon versus another weapon that was designed for cutting. And I absolutely loved it. Mansa was a great way to open my mind up to these type of exchanges and see what is possible. I wasn't sure how I was going to go, and I wasn't sure what my advantages would be once it comes to the fighting. I had a theoretical idea of what my advantages would be, but to actually have it in practice was a lot of fun. And this is kind of going to be like a lead into a lot of the content I'm going to be making too. I'm going to try and have more fights like this, and I'm going to use other weapons and all type of stuff. But if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe because more is coming.